Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. To the Daily Mail we go, where they say 1 in 5 women are childless at 45, and they're having fewer offspring than ever. This according to some of the latest data extrapolated. Just more bad news when it comes to the birth rates, especially in the developed world. I have a theory on that I'll get into in a minute. But as far as where this is going, almost Demolition Man style type of stuff. This is when women are having fewer children today, fewer than ever before, by the way. And more are staying childless. Women who turned 45 in 2016 had an average of 1.8 children, down from 2.2 from their mother's generation, who turned 45 in 1944. So the same generation also had fewer children by their 30th birthday, suggesting that women are having children later in life. And then women who turned 45 last year had 1.06 children by 30 compared to 1.8 in their mother's generation. Now, in total, 18% of women who turned 45 last year had no children at all, compared with 11% in their mother's generation. So the ONS figures collected from birth registration data going back to the 1930s define 45 as the age by which most women have actually stopped having children. Teenage motherhood is also dropping. You know, they say, oh, teenage births, it's just out of control. No, it's actually going down, with just 6% of women having at least one child before their 20th birthday. Now, the new Office of National Statistics over in England and Wales say that it peaked for women born in 1935, and ever since then, it's been falling. Here in the United States, it's the same thing. Now, in order to sustain the population, if we go the typical way we've been going the last, thousands of years or so, you need a birth rate of at least 2.1 children per adults, per couple, if you will, to sustain the population. And the reason why this is so important now is because we've gone totally in on socialism. We have all these social programs, Social Security, Medicare, all of these programs designed to help out later in life so that, God forbid family take care of family. That can't happen. No, we don't, grandma's too much of a burden. So instead, we're going to make everybody else pay for grandma and put her in the old folks home, right? So that's the way it kind of works today, whereas it's seen more as a burden to have grandma and grandpa move in with you. That's not good. We don't want that. We want them to live in the old folks' home. And by the way, we want to pay, Social Security, and things like that. But you have to have the young people in the traditional construct that we have in order to pay for that. You got to have the labor of the young people. Now, there's a couple of problems. One, we don't have as many young people. The population is aging. It's aging everywhere. Japan is in crisis. Thailand's in crisis. The only thing saving the United States is immigration. If we weren't such heavy into immigration, then guess what? We would be in the same problem, same boat right now. England, UK, same thing. Europe, same thing. Developed world is having a major issue because the policies that were put in place by people like Margaret Sanger back in the 50s and the 60s, Planned Parenthood, things like that. While I am totally and always have been a choice person, because you can't take free will away from somebody. And let me tell you something. I would rather a woman have a safe place to have an abortion than to do the whole hanger abortion type of thing. Bad juju. A lot of women permanently disfigured and even killed as a result of these back alley abortions. So no bueno there. But this is Agenda 21 and everything coming to fruition. And now we have a population crisis. Or is it a crisis? You know, is this exactly according to plan? I think it is. And then with the implementation of AI, see, this is how I think it's going to set up. Tonight on the Kev Baker Show, Kev had me on as a guest to talk about Sophia, the new AI that everybody, first of all, anthropomorphizes as a woman. They just kind of make it look like a woman robot. But really all that is just the robot itself. It's a very small portion of the AI. The majority of the AI actually resides in the cloud. Okay, so this is just basically a node of the AI, and we'll call it Sophia, just because that's the name of the robot. And it's funny because the creator of Sophia actually gave us a shout out. So it's very interesting, and that's cool. But the problem that we're going to see emerge is that people aren't having enough children. And we're not going to get to that point. Maybe we will, to where organic life is phased out, to where the biological body is phased out. Because that's where people like Google executives, like Eric Schmidt and others, kind of view it. Like the organic part of us is actually inconvenient. And if we did away with it, we wouldn't miss it. You know, I beg to differ. However, they see that as being phased out going down the line. In the meantime, though, we will still need to procreate. But you can almost see something kind of emerging here. They've run a bunch of tests with AI over in China and other smart cities about how AI manages day-to-day activities, whether it be traffic management, waste management. It's been shown to be extremely effective in improving traffic flow and managing day-to-day operations of a city. But could you imagine if AI was then put into place to take over, breeding test tube babies, if you will? And I'm using test tube as just a way of articulating the thought, but who knows how it would happen. But artificially, artificially creating human life outside of the womb, for lack of a better term. And then based on the DNA profiles of everybody that's alive and on the face of the planet, the AI can then determine where the shortfalls are in the human population with regards to, attributes, whether or not they need to be more proficient. Wow, we have a shortage in people that are proficient in skilled labor or trades, and then it could manage that. And then eventually over time, you could just see the pattern emerge where organic life is just phased out, that what it would consider to be a weakness, what human beings today consider to be a weakness, because these control freaks, their number one goal, at least in my eyes, is to achieve immortality. And the only way I see them doing that is to upload what they consider their consciousness to the cloud. The problem that I see with that is they don't understand what consciousness is. No one really does. We all don't have a grasp on what that is. We don't know what makes up the brain, what's stored in the brain, and more specifically, what is the mind? Is the mind simply what's inside the brain, or is there much more? Are we connected, everybody together? See, I think we are. I think we're capable of doing what AI is capable of. But this is a deception, a hoax, a counterfeit, what you're seeing emerge. You're seeing almost an identical construct being constructed based on the natural construct, based on what we know, based on how we were created, based on how our construct is created. Only now you're having a synthetic one, but one that almost mirror image it. It's a mirror image of that original construct. We're even using avatars or nodes like Sophia with a robot that looks like a human woman, even though Sophia is not female, even though Sophia doesn't have a body per se, that, like I said, 99.9% of that intelligence resides in the cloud. It is not a form, a physical form. And that AI is going to have as many nodes as it can to extrapolate information and learn and evolve. That's what it's designed to do, you know? So this is interesting because you see Agenda 21, you see how effective it is, you see the population crisis. It will become a crisis. How do you force people to have children? Well, you really don't. So if people aren't going to have children, well, then we're going to have the children for them. And they already have the DNA database. So all they've got to do is either A, start cloning, which we know can happen. And then once they start cloning, start managing the population by attributes, almost a la Brave New World, where you had your alphas, you had your epsilons, you had your different class of humans that were bred intentionally for a specific purpose in society. And then eventually you just see humans phased out. I mean, that's where I think this is going. And it's really sick because you've got the movers and the shakers in the tech community and in cutting edge science saying that, you know, we're looking at achieving singularity, which I think we've already achieved, but they say that we're going to achieve it here within the next couple of years. And then after that, who knows? This thing is taking off. It's skyrocketing like you wouldn't believe. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Hashtag wake the flock up. Have a great day, everybody.